Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us from evil, O Lord. For thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. Do ordain to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. Establish this Constitution for the United States and the netizens. Online people. Hello, welcome to Friday Reds. It's a prototype online show, a weekly show. Mainly the American Pharaohs project, which is the Acoustic Angel project. Here at Stanislaus County, I am Stanley Jack. Stanislaus. Yeah. Thank you very much. Aloha. Alright, Friday Reds. We talk about the past, the present, and the future. Last week, another U.S. tragedy on a bridge. Pedestrian bridge. Always this tragic past and present. Yeah, today I went to a funeral today, my aunt's funeral. She's my dad's older sister. We went to Lodi, California. Rest in peace, Auntie. You're now with my dad. It's my dad's birthday coming up. The date in the Philippines is a day ahead, and here in the US it's the 16th, and in the Philippines it's the 17th. And you know, time zones in different parts of the netizen world, you know, Europe, Asia, the Americas. And my dad's birthday is falls on St. Patrick's Day in the US culture. St. Patty's. Hello, Melly Smith. Molly or Mally? Aloha. how's it? This is Stanley Jack, alias Camaro Solar Breeze. I'm in character as Stanley Jack, the guitar player, acoustic guitar player, with the slacky tuning. BEADGB. That's the slacky tuning that I'm utilizing for this particular show, because when I recorded my first album, East Meets West, as Emiliano Celli, Latin Asian Pacific Unity, East Meets West, LAPU. The first album was recorded in slacky guitar, and my character Stanley is based on the Stanislaus chief Kukunach. He was a California Indian converted to Catholic and named after a Polish saint named Saint Stanislaus, and he was named after the county, Stanislaus County, here in California, where the movie American Graffiti was based on coming of age story. And so Friday Red Show is hosted by yours truly, Stanley Jack, with my hat, my guitar, and I say the Lord's Prayer at the beginning of the show. I say the "We the People" preamble of the U.S. Constitution at the beginning of the show, and then I do the same thing after my begin, middle, and end conversation, and at the end I do the USA preamble addressing the U.S. citizens and online netizens. And then at the end is the Lord's Prayer again as the closing prayer, and wishing everyone good things. So that's the what you call the agenda today, or what I'm trying to do. So I mentioned a little bit about the bridge that affected another multiple lives, and then this past week I've been we've been mourning for my dad's older sister passing away, and then today we went to a funeral in Lodi, California, and was a good ceremony today. So today I'm starting a little late. It's 8:51 p.m. Wanted to say hey, hello, online people, share, yeah. And basically this prototype show online began last year because of my project here in Stanislaus County, Modesto, California, about Stanley Jack, Stanley, me. And one of his favorite things is guitar playing. There's always a history, because Stanislaus County has a history. And I did some research, and of course the vaqueros, the Spanish cowboys, or the Alta California, Mexico cowboys, were the original cowboys here in Stanislaus County. And Oakdale, California is the capital for the Cowboy Museum. And there are a lot of rodeos that are coming up now, coming this week, future-wise. And of course, St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. It's an Irish culture in the United States. And so my dad's birthday is actually U.S. time zone was on the 17th, but the Asian Philippine time zone is on the 18th. no soy materialístico en este mundo. Mi vida solamente con un simple plan. Ella es una mujer encantadora. Ámame porque de que soy soltero con un simple plan. Un simple plan. Simple plan. Yeah, we're talking about guitar. See, today as an artist here in Modesto, we're doing the Acoustic Angel project and trying to formulate a group, co-op group with all the other guitar players in this county, and I'm convincing them to try out the slacky guitar style tuning, which is a different tuning from the traditional Spanish tuning, E-A-D-G-B-E to B-E-A-D-G-B, and that's all the simple variation, but there are other complicated techniques aside from my B-E-A-D-G tuning for my guitar. The beauty about slacky guitar, the amp capo, is you're able to bend the strings. Bending is like the reasoning for loosening the strings. To uncapo is to loosen the very tight strings that the Spanish tuning standard is set for. And so slacky guitar is modified by the Mu people, which are our ancestors, the Lemuria kingdom. We call them the Mu. Because in the Pacific Islands, you know, you have the Austronesians, the New Guineans, the Igorots, you know, the kinky-haired Aetas, you know, that are the Mu people that were unintegrated people in the prior to the 1492. The Mu kingdom was a very big kingdom where Mohon is Guam and Maharlika was Philippines. Hawaii was again part of Mohon, Mu, and Lemuria. And there have been some YouTube description about the kingdom of Lemuria. But the Mu Sikh, the Mulatto, and the Mulatino, the Mu people, didn't have guitar prior to 1492. They had drums, they had flutes, they had taiko drums, gamelan. So we're talking about the guitar. When it arrived, many of the natives gave it their own style and they loosened it so they can bend the strings. Bending is, that's what bending is. That's bending, okay? Bending a string. You kind of like sustain a note but you bend it. So bending is a popular thing for indigenous people. In it has that ability to make the sustain of a guitar note. That's why when they got a hold of guitar, early natives, and you can hear a lot of the Hawaiian songs, and there's a lot of bending, string bending, or the slide. They make the guitar to slide, or ukulele. But bending is one of the styles. And a lot of the rock and roll players, when they were learning the blues, like Zeppelin and European bands, they were looking into the South, where Afro American slaves were able to pick up the guitar and were also using the blues. But a lot of the rocks, like the bending. A whole lot of love. Led Zeppelin. Anyways, today we can talk about present time situation about music. Is this young man, Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is under what do you call it? Because Bruno Mars is an American-born, American-grown Hispanic Filipino, and like any American-born, American-grown like myself, we are we have multi choices in radio stations. We either listen to rock, we listen to hip hop, Soul Train, Motown music, or like R&B, gospel, country. And so, being American grown, we picked what is popular. What is popular in the American culture today. And Bruno Mars, when he was growing up, he was picking popular music, from Elvis to Motown legends, like James Brown, and then the recent guys like Michael Jackson and Prince. Bruno Mars grew up with those kind of musical influence. Although he has his own Hawaiian, the Hawaiian hula music, the Hawaiian Tahitian music, he emphasized on what is popular, the American hip hop, the American R&B pop. He doesn't do much country, he doesn't do much rock and roll, but he has that wide range of music, favorites, genre. Like me, I have a wide range of favorite genres, and I call it poetry noise, where I can, cover any song, any genre. And Bruno Mars has that capacity, but he specifically focused on the invented genre by Afro Americans, which is like, um, the Motown sounds, the Motown R&B, the Motown funk, and so the funk and the R&B is his focus. He's not really a filthy mouth rapper, dirty mouth rapper of today like Kanye West and Lil Wayne, but he's more into the R&B Motown foundation of good Afro American music. Good as in good lyrics, good, good beats, good dance beats. And Bruno Mars, he is part Negrito, because Filipinos are part Negritos. We're part black. And the rule of Jim Crow rule back in the days of prior to the 1960s was that if you are 1% black, you are black. So the controversy, or the what you call Bruno Mars appropriate for his cultural appropriation. I mean, he's an American cultural kid. when you're an American culturalized kids, you are, in that genre. I mean, in that world. Doesn't matter what the color of your skin or the shape of your eyes. You are in that, world of Motown, world of R&B, soul, funk, and he favors the funk because it's a fun dance beat type music. And apparently, there have been people saying, racially appropriateness, but he has that foundation when he was growing up. He could have been doing just Elvis rock and roll music, Elvis or Johnny Cash type of music, but no, he just chose that. And I'm justifying this young artist. He has his own Mu slack key type guitar music in in Hawaii. There's the Hawaiian guitar slack key music, and the Portuguese ukulele, and the Hawaiian natives that evolved it into a slack key. If you Google slack key, SLACKEY, slack key, you know, you can find it on Wikipedia or Google and find out more about it, the origin of slack key guitar. So there is a indigenous native music genre, but Bruno Mars really is into the pop world, the pop music, and and so that is what makes Bruno Mars different from me, is because I'm more into the indigenous OPM, original poetry music, the OPM that were made haranas and kundimans and the Hawaiian meles. So I'm more indigenous, but I am melting it into country because country and slack key are kind of like equivalent, because the vaquero cowboys, Alta California, Mexico, have been going into the Philippines and Hawaii, the Portuguese, for centuries, back in the 1590s or 1600s. And that's how the Filipino culture, the Hispanic Filipino, before historically 1900 the US came into the Philippines. It forced the US Constitution and the English, and stopped the Spanish speaking Filipinos, and forced the US Constitution in 1911, after all that war, I mean a little war between US and the Philippines from 1900 to 1911. The gun, the Colt 45, was invented just to genocide all the Filipinos that were anti-US, raping the Philippines. So there's a bad history about America that has not told, or America, and that is my job to tell what has happened in the 1900s, when Emiliano Zapata was killed in Mexico, and by General Pershing went into Mexico, and then the U.S. took over after the Spanish-American War and all that, and U.S. took the favored countries that they liked after 1911. Mark Twain wrote about it, and it kept the Philippines for over 40 years, from 1920, 1930s, and then by end of World War II, they left the Philippines alone, abandoned it, the United States government. But the music stayed, my dad. If you ever watch Coco, the movie Coco, the history of our indigenous way of thinking of heaven after death, and we, the Latino Asian Lapu, Latino Asian Pacific Islanders, calls it Lapu. We know our history. We know who we remember, and the movie Coco is a perfect example of our culture, different from Asians like Chinese or Japanese or Koreans. Our Asian culture are still embedded in the Philippines, but the Latino Hispanic culture, the Dia de la Muerte, the Mexican, the Mexican Spanish that went to the Philippines and colonized and controlled it, and the same was Mexico, Alta California. Same, there was no border lines, there was none of these era passport stuff, and U.S. took all that over and forced the U.S. Constitution. And that's why I would say the preamble with the people, the U.S. Constitution is very strong, very right. But the difference between mainland USA and the Hawaiian Kingdom or the Lemurian Kingdom is how the U.S. U.S. occupied the Hawaiian as well as the Philippines, how it took it illegally. And so, through the eyes of God, we only, the storytellers, the musicians, can sing about it. Because why would you modify the tuning unless you want to rebel against the original tuners? The way they. But Bruno Mars, he takes an existing genre, funk, and revives it in year 2018, the 2010s. I mean, funk has been hidden and gone for a long time, but R&B and funk, when Bruno Mars and his collaborative singer-songwriters worked on it, they got their own original lyrics, original beats that are in that genre, and so, he's mastered the dances of James Brown, Michael Jackson, and he got lucky with the right team, and of course that's what's popular in America. America loves to dance. America loves to listen to pop, and pop music is either like rhythm and blues and all the established pops, country, rhythm and blues. Mainstream America likes to buy that. Now, for myself, I'm doing the slacky guitar or Bulinaw slacky, and it's still not popular, but it's my original shit. It's my original stuff. And I just mentioned bending. Bending, it makes you wanna, when you wanna cry, or when you got the blues, or you got the reds. Bending. That's why slacky, the bending and slacky is natural because the string is loose. It's not so tight that you can't bend it. I was a cowboy, but I'm Indian. I'm like the Cherokee, I'm like the Navajo, Dene, but I'm Luzon Indian, Luzon Indian. I wear the white uniform, barong, Our Lady Guadalupe, Juan Diego uniform. I'm not a cowboy, I'm Indian. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still have my musical genre I call OPM, original poetry music, or P noise, proper praise noise because it's Holy Week, Easter coming up, and Holy Week. I mean not Holy Week, but Fridays every Friday. It's Lent season. It's the period where 2018 years ago Jesus Christ went when he was 33 years old, went through the Passion of Christ. So my passion is helping mainstream America understand, also California, the Mu people, Lemuria, Kingdom of Lemuria, and of course Stanley Jack, Stanislaus County, and that's all, folks. I wanted to say Friday Reds is say past, present, future, and we always want to say in the future we will have a full variety show. I'll have some guests, but currently right now it's a prototype, and I want to be able to, in my American Pharaohs Facebook group, we will have some web series occurring in that Facebook group. And I'll have dialogue with other artists like Dan Valerand and Michael Van Zant, and other writers that will improvise, and actors locally here in Stanislaus County, because there's a lot of theater group thespians actors here in Stanislaus County. And of course, surely I'll have some conversation with some cowboys and fellow Indians and Luzon Indios, and I'm gonna tell us the story of what went on here. The today's modern day American graffiti, but the American Pharaohs. And I, Stanley Jack, am the main one of the main characters in this web series. And Friday Reds is just me, a taste of who I am as Stanley Jack, and telling the past and our present today and the future. And will I be back in Hollywood? Of course. I have projects going on there simultaneously. It's all about developing budgets and business plan, but execution of those projects. And with or without budget, we will do it. We will shoot it, edit it. Everybody has to release. It's a showstopper when people don't sign the release forms. Right now it's raining. It's a rainy month. It's raining here in Northern California, and I think a lot about people in LA and people in my Facebook, like people that I meet, especially thanking all these people that are currently watching me: Molly Smith, Jean J, Shami Hoy, Angelica, Floresita. Aloha, how are you doing? God bless all of you. Just want to say Stanley Jack.